This April marks the 1-year anniversary of us having our office, and I just realized I've never really done an office tour. So why don't we fix that? Gotta take the ND off, boost some ISO for you guys. All right, we're good. The worst part about this office is all the stairs. Got some security cameras because, you know, you can never be too safe. All right, welcome to the space, guys. I mean, you guys have seen bits and pieces of this space already, but I want to give you guys a little bit more of an in-depth tour. And why don't we start off with my editor, Matt's station. This is Matt's station right here. Say hi to the camera, Matt.
Hey!
How's it going?
It's going good.
Edit's going well?
Fantastic.
You're probably gonna have to help me out with especially this guy down here a little bit more because you know more about PCs than I do.
Yeah.
You cool with that?
Yeah, do you want to like open it up and see what's inside?
I don't know what that means exactly, but yeah, let's open it up. I think he's opening it up. I think that's what he meant. Ooh, be careful with that thing. It's expensive.
It is.
Very expensive. So this beast here, I think cost us like, what was it, like $6,000 or $7,000?
Yeah.
Plus like the insurance or whatever, because I don't know. I feel like there could be a lot of things that go wrong. So I felt like insurance might be a good thing. Is this the first time you've de-dusted our computer?
Yeah.
That's what I pay him for. I just realized that. It's like back in the day when you would keep like the plastic wrap on your couch. We do the same with our PCs. All right, so we're gonna open this bad boy up. Give us the tour of the beast.
All right. So to start it off, we got our NVIDIA 1080 Ti 11 gigabyte VRAM. And for CPU, we have the Intel i9 7960 Skylake X.
Matt spent like an hour before this trying to memorize everything. Oh, I'm just kidding.
And like 64 gigs of RAM.
Just casual 64 gigs of RAM.
Casual. Guy at the store said it made Premiere better. We believed him.
So we took it.
We got a terabyte M.2 drive in there.
Now, why do we go with the PC instead of like a Mac?
Oh, Fortnite?
Yeah, that's the simplified answer, I think. Good call.
So we didn't want the ceiling of like Mac's ecosystem. Although we love our Macs, we both got the MacBooks, love the iMac, but yeah, we just know we can get a bit more if you get, choose your own processor, choose your own hardware.
Yeah, I think it's like a balance of like you get a little bit more power for less money, which is great, but also we can upgrade this thing. We're not stuck with what we have right now. So it was kind of like a long play. Show off this new monitor we have.
Ooh,
this
so
thing is a beast.
The LG 5K widescreen. It is beautiful with the colors.
Yeah, so we had the other LG curved widescreen monitor, which was great, but this thing is amazing with the colors, which is really, really important for me as a colorist and for Matt too. When we're color grading things, we need the colors to look accurate. This thing has HDR, colors are super accurate. The old LG was really great, but this thing is a big upgrade for us. Yeah, can't say more good things about it. And what are we doing for storage, Matt?
We got 3 Drobos down here.
So yeah, we have 3 Drobos here. That's where the majority of our footage is, and then I have 1 Drobo at home that kind of, it's a safe backup of the most important things. And then also on the road, we're usually using these guys, the Samsung SSDs, kind of to edit remotely and yeah, just to transfer footage. So yeah, that's Matt's editing setup, the monster beast PC there, the most expensive computer I've ever bought in my life. Why don't I show you guys the bathroom? Yeah, this is the bathroom. We also kind of store a whole bunch of stuff in here. This is the podcast cart here. We just store things in there that we don't use as often. And yeah, who needs a massive bathroom? You can just store things in there. Here we got the Nerf Blaster Armory. Cause sometimes you just gotta take a break and have a little Nerf war. Usually I give him a blaster too, but not this time. No visitors ever. Luckily, I'm not a visitor. Okay, let's go to the main space, the main office space. Here it is. This is where I spend most of my time, and we spent a long time trying to find the right looking space. Everything we were finding was kind of just like not very inspiring. I guess that's a good way to put it. Just didn't look very nice. And this place, when we saw it, it had really high ceilings. We got nice window light, the cool floor. There's just a lot of really cool aspects to this. And basically all we did here was just paint the walls white. They're kind of like a yellowish color, which I didn't really like. So we painted it all white, and then there was a massive echo in this room. So when you talked, it was really echoey. So we had to install all of these sound panels everywhere to cut out that echo. Actually, we didn't do ourselves. We hired somebody more professional than us. And it's crazy the difference. I wonder actually, can you hear it on the mic? If I go from this space where is it echoey in here, and then we go into the main space and it just like kills all of the echo, and it sounds really, really good in here. And so we've split up this room kind of into 4 different spaces. This first one would be kind of like the chill out, hangout area. We got the couches here. We got the Dope Squad sign. We got a basketball net because, you know, everybody knows I'm pretty good. Then we have the podcast area, and we actually did this wall also, put in those panels, table. We got our top-down lighting setup. We got the Shure SMB7. I'm not gonna lie, I don't remember exactly what they're called, but these are solid microphones. Also, we just got this boy. We just got this sign made for the Matti and Pete show, and it's fully controllable with LEDs. So we got the halo around. It's a little bit hard to see in this lighting. And then we got the lighting here, so we can control, and you know, if we want teal color, we want red, you want green. I don't know why you would want green, but teal I think is a pretty good color. We're still trying to figure out what would be the best color, kind of a teal color, or should we just go full white? Kind of in favor of the white. It's kind of nice and clean, but I don't know, we're still deciding on that one. We just recorded our first episode, I think last week also. That'll be kind of the pilot episode. Really excited about this. We've literally been talking about doing a podcast since we got this space. It was like one of the first things. We're like, hey, we have a space now. We should like set up a podcast area and invite people on our podcast and hang out with people and talk with them. So we're getting there. It only took like a year, but we are very close to launching the Matti and Pete show. We really just didn't want to rush the whole podcast thing. We wanted to do it right and do it in a way where we really enjoy it. More of like a passion project than like work. So we're trying to keep it kind of like a hobby, not too stressed about it. There's no deadlines. There's no we need to do this or need to do that. We just want to have cool conversations with interesting people. So yeah, I'm excited about it, but be patient with us. Might still be a few weeks until we actually launch the podcast. Then we have Peter's section over there, which I'll leave that to Peter. I won't talk about that. And then there's my section over here. So this is the last quadrant, the last quarter of the office. We have the shelf here. This one's a little bit more just like decor background. So we just have like some random old stuff. And then some of my cameras and lenses here. And this shelf here is more like things that I'm using and then things that I'm reviewing or going through. Companies want to send me stuff, and the stuff that I think is interesting for me and for you guys, I say yes to, and so a lot of that ends up here and then gets given away or put into storage after that. We have a standing desk here. I mostly work standing. I think it's a lot nicer to stand while you're working. I used to get a lot of tension headaches, and as soon as I started using the standing desk, at least 50% of those were cut down. There's something about just sitting at a desk and raising your shoulders up. That just gave me tension headaches. So I really like this guy. It's just from IKEA. It was like $600, goes up and down. You guys might remember when Peter broke the first one, had to bring it back and get a new one. So yeah, standing desk, really like this thing. We got my workstation, the iMac. I'm pretty sure this one is from 2014. Let me just double check. Yeah, late 2014. This is a 4 gigahertz Intel Core i7, 32 gigabytes of RAM. Graphics is AMD Radeon R9, bunch of numbers, 4 gigabytes. So yeah, this is my workstation, and the majority of the videos on my channel have been made on this computer. So I feel like you don't need that crazy of a computer. This thing's from 2014 and it's still been fine. The reason why we invested in another PC is so we can both be working at the same time, and also it cuts down on render times if it renders a little bit faster, which saves us time, saves us money. We can get more done and just enjoy our lives more, I guess, at the same time. So yeah, this is my workstation. I do also have a 15-inch MacBook Pro that I have at home, and that I use when I'm traveling, you know, when I'm going out and I need to still be able to edit photos, video while I'm on the road. A couple interesting things. I mentioned this guy in a video recently. It's from Blind Spot. It's the crack light. And at first I was kind of just like, oh, it's just another LED light. But I just today realized how strong this thing could be, because it's so small and lightweight. It's literally like just like a credit card you could just toss in your backpack or whatever, and it runs off any USB source. So, you know, any of these iPhone chargers or whatever, or even off your phone with this other plug. But you have this cool little LED light, and then with this other contraption they've made, you can change the brightness of it, and it goes pretty bright. Yep. So yeah, I could actually see this thing being really interesting. I have a lot of little lights that I kind of accent my background with. And sometimes it gets a little bit crazy. It'd be nice to have them all off some sort of USB source instead of having to charge each one of those separately. Also, something interesting that you might want for your studio setup is having these aperture lights, because you can control them also. Like I have one down there, and I don't want to crawl back there and have to turn it on and off. I can just do it with this. The remote, I can control the podcast light over there, which I kind of double up as my key light for when I'm filming in my studio. I just swing it around. I can even control Peter's light over there. This remote is so handy. I can't stress this enough. If you're like a solo shooter like me, or you're working with a small crew, you can be behind the camera looking at it at your monitor and changing the light exposure, the levels, trying different lights, seeing how they're affecting the scene, instead of having to go to the light and then go to your camera and kind of remember what it looked like before and then comparing it in your mind. It's really hard to do that. It's way easier to light being behind the camera and using something like this. Cannot recommend Aperture more. Really like their products a lot. Okay, and then the kind of final piece of my setup here is my camera setup here. I have the Canon C300 Mark II. I bought this a long time ago. Nowadays, it kind of just sits here in my office. It's kind of my studio setup. It's a great camera. It's definitely overkill. I have the Sigma 18-35mm on here, f1.8. Probably one of the best lenses ever. If you're on a crop sensor camera, definitely recommend that lens. That would be my go-to lens every single time as your first lens, because it's not crazy expensive, but it's so high quality and covers a really nice range. And then I have this crazy contraption for my audio. Before, I used to have a separate stand for my audio for the microphone, and it was just annoying having a stand around. I kind of just like keeping things nice and simple and clean. So I decided to fix that with this. What I did was I attached an articulating arm to the tripod arm here, and then I just mounted my boom mic here. And with this setup, I can actually extend it pretty far out, because you can extend the arm on the tripod further out, and then the articulating arm gives you even more reach. So I can get it nice and close to me while I'm talking, which is really, really important with audio. And it keeps things, you know, on one single unit, not having to have a whole bunch of stands and a whole bunch of tripods everywhere. So yeah, I found this to be really, really nice. So yeah, that's pretty much the space, I would say. You've seen the 4 different corners of the space. And I'll try to link some of the stuff. For example, my handy little contraption here for the audio, or that sweet new monitor that we got. I'll try to link those things down below. And it's funny, up until about halfway through my first year of YouTube, I never ever wanted my own space, my own studio space or office space. I just loved working from home, and I didn't feel like I needed to have a separate space. But now that I have this space, it's really, really nice to have kind of a separation between work and then home life. So when I come to the office, I work here. I don't play around, waste time, I work here, and then when I go home, that's where I just spend time with family and relax and all that stuff. I try not to think about work as much as possible, even though it does bleed a little bit into there. I should just get rid of my laptop completely. But it's really nice having this space now, especially having a kid. I used to love working at home, but now having a kid, it's really, really hard to work at home because I just want to play with my son the whole time. It's super fun being around him, or then he's screaming really loud and then it's not fun at all to work. So it's really important for me to have this space where I can come, be in peace, and work on my videos and think about the next things that I want to be doing. So yeah, the office kind of helps me to turn off my work brain when I go home. There's a nice clear separation. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed this little tour of the office. If you guys have any questions, you can leave them down below and I'll try to answer some of those questions. If you don't have any questions, then just enjoy your day, I guess. See you guys. Another great distraction to kind of turn off that work brain, Fortnite. Yeah, I play Fortnite. That was close. Getting better, guys. Not getting better.